ibariki, Afrika, ibariki, Afrika. Stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. For us the river, and you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer. Gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it in my wheels.
Salama family.
Salama.
Welcome back to Stepping Stones to Home.
Yes, welcome. How y'all doing out there?
Hope everyone is well. Thank you, everyone that has been wishing us a happy anniversary in the comments section.
Yes.
Thank you, family, so much. Now, our anniversary is not till tomorrow. That's why we did this show tonight, because we're going to be kicking it tomorrow.
Right.
Hey, 20 years, it's on a Shabbat, day of rest. Oh, it don't get no better than that.
Yeah, we probably gonna sleep.
But hey, with that being said, Shabbat Shalom, family. Hope y'all Shabbat is going well.
Well, they ain't got to it yet.
That's true. Those of you who are watching us here on the continent, Shabbat Shalom.
Yes.
And Shabbat Shalom to y'all later on today.
Right.
Back in the U.S.
Yes. So yeah, y'all see the show is about us reaching 20 years marriage.
Yes, she's a strong Black Israelite woman.
It feels like a lifetime. It's like I can hardly remember my life before I was married to him now. It's been that long to me.
So wait, we got to tell them what you mean by that. So we went against all these stereotypes. Okay, and what I mean by that is, let's see. I met Isha G when she was 18. A month later, she turned 19. Mm-hmm. 4 months later, we were married. Okay?
5 months later.
5 months? Okay, 5 months later, we were married. All right? Now, people said, oh, it ain't going to last. Now, this was before, we got, serious with the Most High. For our 1 year anniversary, we went and got each other's names tattooed on our necks. So I have her name tattooed on my neck. She has my name tattooed on her neck. They said, oh, y'all ain't gonna stay together because of that.
Yeah, just nobody believed that we was gonna stay together. And apparently I got married because I was pregnant. That's what they said. I had to have been pregnant if I was getting married that young. Or I was just doing it just to move out of my parents' house.
And it wasn't none of that.
Didn't be because I was in love, right? But it's been a journey.
Yes.
It's been a journey. It's been a beautiful journey. It's been thank y'all so much. Thank y'all. You're the second person been talking about that diary today.
So this is Isha G's her African Baba. He says I owe him a dowry that hasn't been paid in full. So Baba, I got you. Okay, I'm gonna deliver it.
Man, so yeah, so it's been a good journey. It's been ups and downs, beautiful things, not so beautiful things, but one thing for sure, we have learned to roll with the punches with each other and just keep it moving no matter what. I came from a strong household of seeing parents together. My parents were together for 30 years before my mom passed. My grandparents were together for 70-something years, and it was to death do them part until they passed on.
My grandparents were together until they both passed away. Mm-hmm. But the difference between my family, it was a lot of marriages. So I didn't see that, but it was something I always wanted because of the fact that I didn't grow up seeing that.
Only with your grandparents.
Yeah, only with my grandparents did I see it. but you know, other people in my family that just didn't work out that way.
Thank you, sis, so much. Thank you. You know, we're trying to be like y'all.
You know, trying to get to where y'all at, trying to be like the
Right.
Spears.
So, let me ask you this: what was the most memorable moment? And I don't mean the day we got married for you, not marriage. Don't take long to think about this.
I don't have to. Take long.
Okay.
Yeah. So wait, in our marriage or when I met you?
In our marriage.
So the most memorable moment in my marriage to my wife was one day I was sitting down and her mom came and sat by me and she said to me, I want to tell you thank you because all I've ever wanted for any of my daughters is for a man to love them and to truly want to take care of them. And you promised me when you married my daughter, you would always take care of her, and you've never let me down. And so that meant a lot to me because she said that to me, and it was probably a couple of months before she passed away. And so that, is very memorable to me. What about you?
Probably us renewing our vows. So
Yes,
we got married at the courthouse. Why?
we was broke.
So when we first got together, we weren't followers of the Most High, right? We were shacking.
Now,
But
baby, you don't be shacking.
Y'all know what
Don't
shacking
be
is.
shacking. You know you're gonna go to hell if you're shacking. Don't be shacking.
You know, and we got preached that over and over. If you shacking, you going to hell. So I ain't shacked with him for a long time. I was at his house like a month. And I was like, oh my Lord, I'm going to hell. So I'm not going to hell for nobody. So I packed my bags and I was getting ready to go. He was coming home from work. I was sitting on the bed. I had my bag packed. And I'm like, when he comes, I'm telling him I'm leaving. I ain't going to hell for you. This is wrong.
Now, she wasn't breaking up with me. She was just like, look, I love you, but, I really given my life to the Lord. And I want to be right in his eyesight. And so we can still be together. We just can't live together.
I just wasn't going to hell for nobody.
Right. So now listen, we've talked about this in other shows. Man, listen, I did one of the most romantic
proposals.
Yes, wedding proposals in the world.
Amazing.
Yes.
Wedding.
Let me tell y'all what I did. Let me tell y'all what Brother Tour did. She told me she was leaving because we wasn't married. So I sat down on the bed, put my elbows on my knees, and I looked at her and I said, you want to go get married next week?
Just like that. Just like that.
And y'all know what she said? She started unpacking her bags, talking about, yep.
And we got married, I think about 4 days later. We were married. We were like, I ain't playing no games. So we were married. So we actually, because we weren't really serious with the Most High, we went to the courthouse and we got married. But
we were serious about each other.
Once we got really serious about following the Most High, was really like, no, we gonna follow him for real, for real. We went to the beach. We bought my dress, his outfit, everything. We went to the beach, just us, wrote our vows on the beach early one morning, sunrise, and it was just the two of us.
Right.
And we just did our vows before the Most High together that day on the beach. And so that was my most memorable moment.
Thank you, family.
Thank y'all. My most memorable moment was that renewing our vows on the beach.
Okay, so now let's get down to the nitty gritty. Has this 20 years been easy?
Nah. I'm gonna say not at it. No, not at all. It hasn't been easy. Now it's not because you don't love each other or anything like that, but yeah, we just life just not easy.
Yeah, we done been through some things.
So what's the hardest thing for you that we've ever been through?
So when I was in the military, I was young and dumb, and because of how I grew up, I always desired family. I got married very young when I was in the military, and have a son from a previous marriage, and that didn't work out because I tried to make a decision on my own and not allow the Most High to bring show me my wife. And so then I met Isha G, and I realized this is who I was always meant to be with. And so some people know this, some don't. Um, Isha G and I, we have no children of our own, you know, and so it was hard for me watching at first, my son from a previous relationship come and her have to see me with my son, knowing her desire was to give me children, and it just wasn't happening. And it was just weird also because, we both been checked out, no issues. The doctor said, there's nothing wrong with either one of you. So that was hard, just knowing she's always wanted to give me children and it just didn't happen. So that's what was hard for me.
Yeah, I think mine was around the same as far as the hardest thing. It wasn't about him having a son. My hardest thing was after all the years of wanting children, I actually ended up getting pregnant and we had a miscarriage. So that was the hardest thing for me because I feel like, why in the world, after all these years, we've been praying for children and everything, wanting children. Finally, and I didn't even know it at that. I didn't even know. But then we had a miscarriage, and I wasn't even with him when it happened. He was.
I explained that when you say not with him.
He was miles away in another state actually at the time working when it happened. So, pull it, Baba. So it was hard. It was very hard for me, and it was hard for him because he wasn't even there.
Right.
And so he ended up leaving work to come to where I was because of it. So that was I think the hardest moment for me in our marriage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything else, it's been hard, but it ain't been like that. So.
But the greatest moments in our life is when we both got serious with the Most High and began to grow in Him and came out of the religiosity of Christianity into the truth of who we are as a people and who the Most High had chosen as His people. And it's just amazing to us. There's things that when we were in, westernized Christianity, things that we looked right over. I was one of the ministers at our church. My wife was doing praise and worship. She was what was the term for? It wasn't secretary.
I was a secretary.
Yeah, okay, secretary at the church. But with things that we just didn't realize were right plain as day in front of us, but to grow in that knowledge, and then over the years, just to return back to the law, statutes, and commandments, to begin to participate in the feast days, and just learning truly how to love my people, because y'all know how it is in America. We taught to be like, yeah, I ain't messing with black folks. I ain't doing this. I ain't doing that. Just let me worry about my household. But to actually learn to do unto my brother as I want done unto me, to actually care. And honestly, I am the man who I am today because of Isha G. I was a history buff, and so I read a lot of different things about different religions, Islam, Egyptology, and Buddhism, Taoism. And for me, it was all these people believe just as hard as quote unquote Christians do in the God that they believed in. So how was I supposed to know which one was the real God? And so she just continued to pray for me, even though I didn't know she was praying for me, and just asking the Most High to reveal Himself to me. And He did. And I've never looked back. And I'm always thanking him for her because, as the word says, that he who finds a wife finds a good thing, and I obtain favor. Yes. And I've had that favor because of her, and her love for the Most High, that she would love me that much to pray for me through thickness and through, just my thick skull, because I was stiff necked, hard headed, stuck in my ways, and listen, let me tell y'all something. I've never cheated on my wife, but I gave her enough reasons to walk away. But she still said, no, this is the man that the Most High gave me. And my job is to pray for him. And that's what she's always done. Pray for me.
Right. And that's what I was taught. Growing up, marriage was forever. No matter what, marriage was forever. Like sometimes you might need to take a break from each other because of certain situations, but it was no D word. Right. In your marriage. It wasn't no walking away. Now I ain't gonna say we used the D word, but we never did it.
I've never used that word. I've never used that word.
I have used it before. Especially when we first got married. I was 19, fresh, 19-year-old married. And so, it wasn't easy. He was hot-headed as I don't know what, fresh out of gangs and all kind of stuff like that.
I was a different person.
I was a 19-year-old with an attitude who you couldn't tell me nothing. So, I was just like, I always got my daddy house. I'm going to my daddy house. But yes, like the Most High has been good.
Hallelujah. Welcome.
Yes.
We appreciate you joining us.
Yes.
Yes. Asante Sana.
And Karibu.
Yes.
So let me see. Tanzania.
Yes. So let me tell y'all something. You want to have your marriage tested? Let me tell you how you test your marriage to see how strong your love is. You listen to everything the Most High says without a shadow of a doubt, knowing that when the Most High is speaking to you and he decides I'm not, let me go back. Let me back up. So the Most High has always done this thing with us. He'll confirm what he's saying for our household to both of us. Yeah. Okay? And so coming to Tanzania, he was only talking to me. He stopped talking to her. And so here we are. I'm telling her, babe, we got to go to Africa. And she's like, Afro who? She was like, listen, I didn't want to leave Florida, but I came to Georgia. And now you're talking about we going to Africa. And so I'm sitting there and I'm telling her, all right, listen, the Most High said we going to Africa. So we going to Africa. I'm about to buy these tickets. We're going to get these passports. And she like, okay, go ahead and get them. See who going.
I was not like that, y'all. Well, I was not. I just was like, how are we going to Africa? Y'all know the story because we told it already. Right. If we ain't have the money. But it was also with that, I do understand because I had a hard time trusting my husband. And it wasn't because he had did anything like cheated or different things like that. It was just, I just trusted myself.
I have my moments through this walk where I would be real hot sometimes, and then I'd be real cold. I straddled the fence for a long time.
Right. So I was just, spiritually, it was just like, well, I don't know, because he ain't said nothing to me. So, I trust my spiritual intuition. And so I just was like, I didn't know. But at that time, the Most High was teaching me how to not to place my trust in just, I depend on you for everything, but learning to trust him, to know the Most High and have the Most High lead him, because I wouldn't give him that. Right. So that's something that it was like my first test on this journey here now. And I say my first test because after y'all leave America, you get tested like every week.
Every week, every day.
I ain't gonna say every day, but you get tested like every week. For me, maybe you get tested every day, but like every week, it seems like you get tested. So
and we say Africa because the Most High has blessed us to meet some beautiful people that have been to other countries. And,
Yeah.
you know, we used to think Tanzania was a tough cookie. Boy, we done heard some stuff. Just have us like, man.
We thankful for
We
Tanzania.
thank you. Yes. And, you know, the Most High, he gonna work it all out. But
Yeah.
so let me ask you this. What advice would you give to a young couple right now that's watching this, that is thinking about getting married? What advice would you give to the young woman?
Know that he's serious. He's like a real follower of the Most High, first and foremost, because he ain't gonna be able to be nothing for you really if he's not. So, you know, money, and we all know money don't mean nothing. I mean, you could have things with money, but you have rich people all the time blowing their brains out. So money ain't nothing. So you just need to make sure that he's a follower of the Most High first and foremost, because then he'll know how to love you right. He'll know how to love your children, and he'll be led by the Most High with wisdom on how to be a good provider for your household.
And for me, the advice I would give to a young man that desires to be a husband, I would say before you even open your mouth to tell some young lady, I love you, I want to marry you, that you take the time to self-check yourself by talking to the Most High and asking the Most High, do I have what it takes to take care of this young lady, to take care of children? Am I spiritually mature enough to handle being a husband and the responsibility of being a husband and a father? Is my relationship strong enough with you that when my wife asks me, how are we going to pay this bill? How are we going to do that? That I have enough trust and faith in you, Most High, to know that you are my provider, that my wife will always be provided for as long as I'm seeking your face.
Okay, so that's for the couples.
Yes.
Or was that for the man?
That's for the man. That's for the man.
Oh, but my advice to the ladies is it would be rather be willing to allow the Most High to deal with your husband. And sometimes that means allowing him to walk into walls, and you walk into that that wall right with him. You know, but it's lessons that come from all of those things. And also not just walls, but if the Most High does take y'all down a path that's not so pleasant, don't blame him and be willing to see the Most High and know that the Most High still got you.
Right.
You know, because it's not always your husband, it's the Most High sometimes just leads you down paths, and it's to teach you, to train you, to mold you, to prune you, all those things. And so a lot of times we like to point fingers and everything like that, but it's not. It's just the Most High is teaching. This whole life is teaching us and preparing us, you know, to be his people again, be in his kingdom. So don't be so quick to point fingers at your husband. Be looking to see what could the Most High be teaching us in all of this.
Right. And I would say to both the man and the woman in a marriage, learn to put yourself in your wife's shoes, learn to put yourself in your husband's shoes. And what I mean by that is the way we speak to each other, the way we treat each other, the way we deal with each other. Listen, opposites attract, okay? Most couples are not the same. I'm a goofy, love to have fun type of person. Now, I'm not saying she doesn't.
I like to have fun.
No, I'm a goofball, y'all. I really am a goofball, all right? But Isha G, she a goofball with me, not around a lot of people, okay? Yeah. Unless she's like really got to know you. But normally she's the more serious one out of both of us, you know. Yeah. And so you have to understand everything is not always going to be peaches and cream, you know. And so you have to learn that the way we might say things to our spouses is not going to be received the way we always say it, because Listen, the enemy does not want us, especially two black people. He don't want two black people being together in the first place. Y'all see all the stuff how they try to get us to marry outside of our race. So when these things are going on, the enemy is like, nah, let me cause division between them. So you have to learn to spot the enemy when he's coming in like a flood. You got to learn to spot that flood coming, and throw that life jacket on you and your wife and say, nah, we're not going to get caught up in this.
Yeah.
So I just want to put that out there. Let the Most High lead both you and your wife and listen closely to what he's saying, because your marriage is a representation of your relationship with him. All right? Because let's just be honest. Sometimes the Most High tell you to do some things that are not comfortable to your flesh, but it's for your good when he does it.
Yes. So, funny moments. What's the funniest moment you could think of? Funniest moment.
Man, you go first. Let me think. There was a lot of them, so you go first.
So funny. One of the funniest things that happened to me, right? We were asleep one night, y'all. Thank
Really?
y'all.
Don't you dare.
We were sleeping one night.
Thank you, family. Appreciate that.
Yes, thank you so much. And my little brother was in the next room.
I was sleeping good, y'all.
And so I don't know why this man, we had some boxes like stacked up in front of our bed. And so he thought he heard something in the house. And so my husband used to be much bigger.
Listen, I'm a protector. I felt like somebody done came up in our house. So I jumped up.
He jumped up the bed. I never thought he could move that fast. And he almost fell. Well, he tripped, almost fell. I think you hit your knee.
Yep.
And everything. It was so funny to me. Like, I'm sorry. I know you falling is not like a good thing, but it was very funny. And so I just never knew he could move that fast, because he was, like I said, he was much bigger at that time. And I heard nothing. So I don't know why he jumped out of bed like that. So that was real funny to me. I never forget that. I never forget that moment.
Listen, I'm a protector, all right? Like I said, I thought someone came up in the house because the boxes fell. And for me, there was no reason for them boxes to be falling unless somebody done bumped in to where they was at. So that means somebody was in my house. And so I'm the first line of defense. So I jumped up and I was going to handle business. It just the bed got in the way. Because I was trying to cut that corner too quick. And the edge of the bed was right there.
Man.
And you laughed at me?
Yeah, because you slipped like 3 different times trying to get out the room.
Okay.
That was really funny to me. Don't do that. Seriously.
So let me tell y'all what Isha G did. I ain't gonna do you like that.
If you do that, you're gonna have a bad night, brother.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Thank you, family. Listen, that Africa weight loss plan is, look, you don't need nothing else but at Africa. Come to Africa and you will lose the weight.
Seriously. But
man, all right. It wasn't anything that she did. Because I'm gonna be honest. Funny moments just be things that we do. So I really love her family, right? So we lived in Port St. Lucie, Florida at the time, right? And so the way the house that we were staying in was designed, you had the kitchen, and then there was like a little cutout.
It was a pass-through. Right in front of the sink.
Now there was a wall that went up, but the wall didn't go all the way up to the ceiling, so you could throw stuff over, right? Now her little sister, how old was she at the time?
Maybe 12.
She was like 12 at the time, her little sister, right? And so her mom and her little sister and her little brother were up visiting. And her mom, we had like was it a Twinkie?
It was a Twinkie.
It was a Twinkie, right? And so when her mom told her little sister, bring me a Twinkie. So instead of first taking it to her mom, she decides she gonna throw it. And so she went to throw it and it hit the wall and came back and hit her in the face.
Y'all. But never mind, I ain't gonna even say that. But yeah, it's okay.
Because it happened to me later
It
on in
happened
life.
to him multiple times.
Because I was making man, I rode her little sister about that for so long. And then we moved somewhere else and then I did it multiple times. It happened to me.
So
Man.
but life in Tanzania as a couple, we'll talk about that for a little bit.
So so life in Tanzania as a married couple, coming here with nothing. Man.
Interesting.
Very interesting, but I will say it made us stronger.
Yeah.
Because so the word Tanzania, when you go back to what it was called before Tanzania, Tanganyika, and it still means the same, is wait.
No, a Twinkie is like a pastry that's filled with sweet cream on the inside.
Right. So it's actually one of the worst things you could put in your body. But
I don't even know what it is really. It's just
because people had Twinkies that were 20 years old that never molded.
Right.
So it was one of the worst things you could put in your.
It's like cake. It's like a log, a short little log, and it got cream on the inside.
Yeah. But as a child, we ain't know no better. And so, like we were saying, here in Tanzania as a married couple, coming here with nothing, not knowing the language, even though we had been told, learn some of the language, we didn't do it.
We tried, but it wasn't the same.
And what else? We came here, and it wasn't as easy of a transition as we thought it would be. Mm-hmm. Because you don't take into consideration that you really have to wrap your mind around this is not the U.S. The freedoms that you were used to, the freedoms we thought we had in the U.S. is not the same here, because it's a whole nother, Africa is a whole nother animal in itself.
I wouldn't even say the freedoms, just the things you're accustomed to. Yeah.
American good stuff. Woo, listen, as a child, that's all you thought was good stuff.
Right. But we don't know what it is. If you look it up, it's probably going to be a bunch of chemicals.
Probably. But when you get here so for Tanzania, we can't have a job. You have to own a business or be a part of an NGO, which is a nonprofit, or be on a missionary trip. So, or you can invest in the country, but you've got to invest big 6-figure type money, which we didn't come over here with that. We didn't come over here with a missionary group. We didn't come over here at the time with a nonprofit. And so it was real different. And we spent the first few months here just praying, asking the Most High, saying, Most High, what do you want for us to do? Because you told us to come, to trust you and to come, and now we're here.
Yeah. So we've had a lot of great moments in Tanzania.
Yes.
We've had a lot of trying moments.
A lot of trying.
I would say, I think it's been more so me. It's been more trying for me as a wife. Because as a wife, you naturally look to your husband for things, for answers and things like that. Even though you know he ain't the Almighty, right. But it's just a natural thing.
And you know what I told her? I said, don't ask me, but ask your daddy.
He tell me that all the time. You better ask your daddy because I don't know.
He told us to come to Africa to be obedient. So that's what I did. Don't ask me questions.
So, it's been a lot harder at times for me because you want answers, but then you have to remember he's not God, so he don't have all the answers. And so I don't know, guys, I guess they just don't, maybe they, they don't show as much emotion, or if they feel like, I feel like flying, running away or something, they don't really show that too much. But for me, I've had times where I'm like, I just feel like digging a hole, crawling in it, and covering myself back up. So
And I have to dig out sometimes.
yeah, so it's been times like that for me in Tanzania. But I have a good husband, so he always encourages me. Sometimes it don't work right then, but later on, I think about his words, and it helps me to come out of my funk sometimes, and just like, what, he's right. It took a lot of the Holy Spirit teaching me to listen, and when he say your husband right, because I ain't want to hear that for a long time. Like, I don't want to hear that he right. I want answers. So Tanzania it's been a great, like he said, tool to help us in our marriage also, because it's made us closer. It's made me see him in a different light. And it's also made me see Abba in a different light, knowing that this man here ain't Abba. And so even though I'm depending on him to seek him, I gotta wait for Abba to speak to him,
Yeah.
Biggest challenge, biggest triumph you faced so far since making the faith move to Tanzania. Biggest challenge.
The corruption.
I concur.
The corruption. And you pose the question right to Africa, because after talking to people, it's not just Tanzania that has corruption issues.
Mm-hmm.
It's just about every country in Africa has corruption issues, because that's what they've been taught. And then the biggest triumph for me, and I'll let her answer for herself, my biggest triumph is the recent water project that we did, because our hearts have been to help out here. And because we're coming home and to be able to help out here. And when we went to visit that school and found out that school had 1,312 students and no water, and they were using toilets that they couldn't flush, they couldn't wash their hands. You had young girls of age, and they couldn't clean themselves. That bothered us, and so to put that well there, and the work that we've done, and we still got more work to do at that school, but the things that we've been able to accomplish there, that makes me feel good. And on top of that, in the part that we live in, Tonga, the children, they don't do very well in English, because we are the only Americans that speak English where we live. All right. And so these children now actually have an opportunity to practice their English. So they see us walking around, and they begin to talk to us and practice with us. Good morning. How are you today?
Like, we are well. They repeated, we are well.
And they're excited.
So
yes, my biggest triumph is to see the look on these children's face, just for the things that we've been able to do here. And I just can't wait to complete the other things that the Most High has given us to do here.
Yes.
What about you?
The biggest challenge was definitely we didn't have a problem getting residency. Like, I know a lot of people have issues getting residency. We didn't have a problem with that. Our biggest challenge was the government, like their equivalent to the IRS. That was our biggest challenge.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So I'm not gonna even say the name, but y'all just look it up for the equivalent to the IRS. That it was our biggest challenge thus far in Tanzania. And I agree, the biggest triumph was actually accomplishing that well project, because we're sent over here to do stuff. And when you sent to do something, and then you just sitting there, And you're like, well, why did you send me here? Because I'm just sitting here.
Right.
So, and then to be able to see the plan of the Most High actually come to pass, um, that is definitely a big triumph. Was the biggest triumph for us because we had so many things that had happened. Y'all know what happened with the parks in Dar es Salaam.
Go ahead and touch on that.
Yeah, because somebody just asked that because the parks in Dar es Salaam, and it was the government that
Axed it.
right.
They
So-
stopped it from happening, and so yeah,
It was a big blow. So that was our biggest triumph, was actually getting a chance to accomplish something up here in the country.
right.
But that was a big challenge too, because that was a part of the government as well, just a different part, and just
Yeah, because Dar es Salaam is way different from Tonga. Like
yeah,
the things that we're doing here, the government here, even though it's still a part of the same government as down in Dar, it's kind of like Dar is its own state compared to
Mhm.
Tonga. It's its own state,
yeah,
and the government officials here actually want to do something for their people. Tonga is called the Lost City.
the forgotten,
Yeah, the
city.
forgotten city, because there's nothing going on up here. So the things that we want to do, like this community center that we're talking about building, the fun day that we're doing next Sunday, not this Sunday, but the following Sunday. You know, they're excited about this, and they're standing behind us, and they're giving us all the support. You know, we didn't get that down in Dar.
Right. And as far as the park goes, it was just Dar, but we're not giving up on it. We're trying to
Yeah.
actually get it accomplished still
Yes,
up here.
yes. One of those parks we're actually going to build in front of. It's going to be built at the community center.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest challenge, is learning the government, learning how they move, learning the tax laws, making sure you're on top of everything. That's the biggest challenge. But triumph is actually being able to accomplish those things.
Mhm.
Are there any regrets in Tanzania? I would say no. And the reason why, even though we've been through things that I did not like, and even things that we started getting involved with before we even moved to the continent, I would say no, because now, about 2.5 years later, looking back, every step that we took, even the ones that I did not like the position we were in, it felt like chaos. Well, it was chaos. I do see how the Most High used all of it to get us to where we are today.
Right.
And so I sometimes be like, Most High, like, why did you take us this route? Like, I just feel like it's easier routes you could have taken us, but it's things, lessons that we had to learn, and all of those things. Like the way that we can tell people, hey, don't do this, don't do this,
Right.
don't do that when you come here. Thank you, family.
Yes.
Like, we would not be able to tell people certain things and guide people in certain ways had we not gone through the things that we went through coming here, leaving Georgia, coming to Tanzania the way that we did,
Even leaving Florida.
even leaving Florida, yeah, and not having a place to stay, just too quick to try and kumbaya with people, all kind of stuff like that. Like, if we hadn't, then a lot of people that have come or that are getting ready to come, we wouldn't have been able to tell them. And then, honestly, like I said, just the fact that we're in Tonga right now, every step that he provided for us, he told us, step here, step here, step here, got us to where we are. And I'm like, I don't even know how we would have gotten here if we wouldn't have stepped this way, and this way.
Right. It's, so we have no regrets. We would not change anything, because the Most High said in his word that, he's the potter, we are the clay. Now, if you've ever seen someone shape clay, it looks horrible at first, before it becomes a thing of beauty. But it took all of that for the potter to get the glory. Is it had to go through some misshapenness to get formed into what the potter envisioned. And so we understand that the vision that the Most High had for us, it had to take some what we would call ugly turns.
Some real ugly ones, y'all. Real ugly ones. Like, but yes, it's so true. It's so true. So no regrets. Do we ever host diaspora to come and visit? As well, I would say, as far as showing them around and different things like that, yes. Because we've had a couple that have come that we've shown around.
A few people we've shown around.
Yeah. So we do show diaspora around, and so they can get their bearings and different things like that. Places to shop, things we do help some who know this is where the Most High is sending me. Can you help me out? Yeah, we do. And one of the reasons we do is because somebody had to help us.
All right. A few people helped us.
Had to help us. And so, it's necessary when you first get to any new country to have somebody who can kind of show you something, especially when you come into a country where they don't speak English.
Right.
It can be very intimidating.
Yeah.
To be here, you're like, I don't know what is going on. Like, they're laughing at me. Are you not laughing at me? Like, what is it?
Yeah, but the Most High, he always puts people in your path, and he definitely did that for us. Put a lot of people in our path when we first got here to just show us that we weren't mistaken in hearing his voice to come here.
Yeah. So, so no regrets at all. We love Tanzania.
Yes.
Where we are at this point. Tanzania is a beautiful country. It has a lot of beautiful people. It has a lot of challenges, but we love where we are and spiritually where we are. And the Most High it's great to have that reminder of all the things that the Most High has done for us since we've gotten here. Like I used to have a board, now I have it on my phone. And I literally write all the stuff that he's done for us just so I could look back and remember it. Like, okay, he did this, he did this, he did this, and it makes me appreciate things.
Right. It's like when we look at the feast days, as we're all observing, feast days right now, whether you have just finished atonement or if you've started tabernacles already, you understand the purpose of these feast days are memorials to remind us of what the Most High has done. And that's one of the reasons why we have that board, like she said, was on her phone now, just to remind us of all the things that he's done for us that just don't make sense. Like, to be honest with you guys, we're sitting right now in meetings with government officials in, I don't want to talk too much about some things that are coming down the line, but it's like, it doesn't make sense because it's just like, these two people who came here from the U.S. with no money, came here, and now he's got us sitting in front of these people, and we're about to make some changes.
Scratching your head, just like, how in the world did we even meet you? Like, like, how did this happen? So the Most High is good because, and it's part of it because of the community, because we're involved in our community. How we met, I actually know how we met government officials. Now I think about it, think back. They started speaking up for us.
Right.
And literally put us in touch. Hey, I want you to meet this person. We're like, okay. So, so that's how it happened, but not because we were trying to meet them. We just like, let's just do something, you know, for the community. They need it. So what can we do to help?
Right.
So
That's how I felt. You know, when I met her, I was like, man, how did I get so lucky?
really,
You know, I had to throw that in there. I can be a little cheesy sometimes. You love me still?
yes.
Oh.
Okay.
She said she still loved me, y'all.
Yes. So I don't have any other questions for you.
You guys have any more?
questions for me?
Let's see. So, yes, hallelujah. No, Lulu said, good idea. I should start a board of thanks and glory to the Most High for remembrance and a testimony.
Yes.
Hallelujah. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
that helps so much.
It really does.
Because sometimes in this house right here, and I have gotten frustrated, and I'm like, the Most High, it helps me to look back and like, Most High, bless me with this house. And I remember when I first got in this house, we ain't had no furniture. We had nothing. No sofa, no table, no chair.
We didn't even have a stove.
We had a big old open living room, and I would go in that living room and just twirl around and be like, thank you, Abba, for this place. You know, but sometimes when you're going through things, all that stuff gets lost in the mix.
Yes.
You know, all the stuff that he's done for you, it's gone at that point.
Right.
And you have to have those things to look back on. Yes, his testimonies, to be like, nah, he did this, we'll be all right, you know. And I go back to twirling. Sometimes I've had to force myself, like, no, go back and twirl in your living room and give them.
Right, you know, sometimes we got to do like David and encourage ourselves sometimes, you know. But I'm thankful that for these past 20 years, you know, the Most High has blessed me with a partner that encourages me, even when I feel like I'm failing. When I feel like I'm not doing the best I can, she lifts me up. She encourages me in the Most High, you know, and reminds me to just keep leaning on him and trusting in him, you know. So, man, when the Most High puts you with the right person, you know, it's the right person.
Yeah, you be needing that.
Mm-hmm. Don't understand, estimate your heavenly status. You are known people in heaven and hell. So what you are saying is coming at no surprise. You showed your ratings by taking that leap of faith. Hallelujah. Thank you for that. That's very encouraging. Thank you.
Have we had success dealing with the banking system? Any suggestions? Transfer money.
So listen, we know people here who have, you know, they use World Remit to transfer money. When we were in the U.S., before we came, you know, we were told to get World Remit or Remitly. Even when we were in the U.S., they wouldn't let us get it, and they wouldn't tell us why. So for us, and I'm only speaking about us, this journey over here has been a serious pruning season. You know, the Most High, when he said that he will be our Elohim and we will be his people, we had no idea what that really meant until we got here, dealing with the banking system. Understanding that he's saying, listen, you're going to depend on me and me alone. You know, so for us, we have not had luck with the banking system. Now, you know, we have an account
that's on that side.
Yeah, on that side. But over here, we just recently opened up a bank account here.
Which was very easy.
Very easy.
To do.
Yeah. But we haven't transferred money as of yet from our US account to this one as of yet.
Right. So I will give this advice about the banking system. All of the companies, try them all. World Remit, if you're leaving, look to open up that account. Remitly, Sendwave, you know, get you a Chime account. Get all of them.
Right.
along with, I mean, y'all, we know the standard ones, and even though the government has, gotten involved with the other ones, PayPal, Cash App, and stuff like that, but the other ones, try and get as many of them open on the U.S. side as possible, as many as possible.
Right.
And
sorry.
I just want to say, Sendwave, from what I heard, they don't charge a fee. We're actually trying Sendwave now. We're just now in the process of trying to open that one up. But if you have World Remit, then you can send money from your bank account to your Tigo or Vodacom, which is like online phone type banking thing.
So you have like on your phone, you have a digital wallet, and now so it's just you're just transferring the money.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So and then you can actually take the money out of what they have here called Wakalas. So it's very convenient to transfer money. Now we do know people who have a bank account on both sides and they're able to wire money.
Yeah, and here it's only $25 to do
25, per wire.
Per wire to wire money from your U.S. account to your bank account here.
However, it does take, I think, about a week for the wire to go through. So it is, and you can do larger amounts of money then. So, and then you can take the money out in T-shillings. Mm-hmm. Some banks, you can take it out in USD as well. It just depends on you. So it is definitely possible to move money. Just you have to figure out what way is going to work best for you. But I do encourage anybody that's going to be wherever long term to open up a bank account so that you can wire your funds to your accounts here. Especially if you're like, I'm not planning on going back to the U.S., where you might want to have access to your money. So you can wire your account. And there's so many banks over here that you have so many to choose from. And you can wire your money here.
Right. And, just kind of going back to this 20 years celebration, as it's getting closer to midnight here. So it's 11 o'clock right now. I just want to say one of the best things for me about being married to this beautiful Israelite woman is knowing that the Most High said, don't marry a strange woman. And so I didn't marry a strange woman. I married one of his daughters. And the favor that I received from him, from the way that I treat her, because the word says that I'm supposed to love my wife the way Christ loved the church, and I don't even want to use the word church, but the way he loved the people of Yah, and so just to see that the people around us, when they see us together, they're, I'll say, influenced by how I treat her and how she treats me. We've had people tell us how I want a man to love me the way he loves you, or I want a wife to look at me the way she looks at you, And so I just want to encourage all the married couples out there. You never know who's watching you. The Most High is always watching you, but there's other people around you who you are the only example that they have of what a good husband and a good wife looks like. So always remember, what you look like when you step out your house. Now don't make it an act, because people can tell when you're acting,
Or it'll come out if you're around people long enough.
Yes.
So how we are is how we are, And sometimes in front of people, you may have a little disagreement too. We don't keep it going, but people know that we don't always agree on stuff. We don't hide that. Right. So we're the same whether we're at our house or we're out with people. Like the way that I love my husband, I genuinely love my husband.
I don't know why, but you do.
And people be like, why y'all like being around each other so much? I'm like, well, why you don't like being around your husband? Why you don't like being around your wife? Because I love being with my husband more than anybody else. You ask anybody, my siblings, anybody, most of the time, if you see him, you see me.
Right.
You know?
And you know what's funny is you have to really just love being with each other. And we genuinely love being with each other because it's like one of the greatest things we learned a long time ago was keep people out your business. You know, keep people out your business. You know, like my wife said, we don't always see eye to eye, but as long as you keep people out your business, you don't give them an opportunity to be the devil's advocate. You know what they say? Did y'all get married when they were 10? You both look so young. Yahuwah is amazing in all of his ways. Hallelujah.
You know, they say black don't crack. So thank you though.
Yes,
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's genuine. Like my husband, he is a great husband. He's not abusive to me verbally or physically, you know, because it's some people we meet and it's just one thing in front of people, but when you get to know them, it's like, wow, this is your marriage. So we are who we are, and we love being us. You know,
Right.
We don't try and be nobody else. This is who we are. So it's kind of like you take it or leave it, because this is me.
Right.
So yeah.
And, you know, she keeps me feeling like I'm 10 years old too. You know.
Nah, he be on the go. He act like he can be 10 years old. Like he have the energy a lot of times of a child. And I'm like, I don't see where you get this energy from, because I don't.
Look, it's Africa. Let me tell y'all something. Over here, man, you feel rejuvenated. I don't know if it's the fruits and vegetables over here, if it's all this the sun, you know, but
energized.
Yeah, you just feel energized over here. And I do want to say this, to the men, don't stop doing what you were doing when you first met your wife. All right? If you talked to her, if you found reasons to talk to her when you first got together because you were trying to get to know her, that's what made her fall in love with you, because you showed her that you were interested. Don't stop, because now you've got her. Now you're married to her. Now you've given her some children, and you know you're taking care of the bills. She still wants that attention from you. And all the attention that you want, brothers, you know what I'm talking about? If you are giving her what she desires, she has no reason not to submit unto you. You know what I'm saying? So, fellas, I hope you understand what I'm saying. Treat your queen the way she desires to be treated, and she will always go to bat for you as her king.
Yeah, definitely. You still owe Baba a diary.
Yeah, I know. I still owe Baba a dowry.
Yes. Oh man, yeah. Whenever you come, maybe we'll get to see you. You know, we're not in Dar es Salaam, but you know, we're here. We're in Tanzania, and we don't plan on going nowhere until the Most High tell us to move. So we here.
Right. All right, family. Well, it is 11 o'clock here on the continent. And we just, man, listen, we want to thank y'all for taking time out to celebrate with us. We thank you for those who were a blessing financially tonight to us.
Thank y'all.
It meant a lot to us. Man, we love you all. And, you know, we pray that seeing two Black people be together for a minimum of 20 years. And I say minimum because I'm trying to hit. Look, when we die,
I'm trying to be like my grandparents.
Nah, because they died at separate times. Listen, me and Isha G, we trying to be 100 years old. All right.
120.
Look. We gonna have the grandkids come in the room. We're gonna be in the bed like this. All right.
We're going at the same time.
We're going at the same time. But we just thank you guys for taking the time out, because this is 20 years is it's really special.
Wait, I have a question for you. I just thought of it before we get off of here. What are you looking forward to? We talked about
That's right.
regrets.
Great grands, yes.
Oh yes, I look so forward to being a great grandmother. Not just a grandmother, a great grandmother, like old.
Not
Not
Quacopia.
Quacopia.
But what am I looking forward to? Honestly, I'm looking forward to growing old with you, and just getting even deeper in the Most High with my best friend.
I have to say hallelujah. Mimi Pia.
I-
That means me too. Definitely those things, growing old together. But I also look forward to, I'm gonna say, actually seeing the Most High just like
Baba, you will get your dowry, okay?
I'm looking forward to seeing what the Most High. I'm looking forward to seeing the Most High show out over here. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing things just really blossom and take off, and just the things that we know are coming down the pipeline. I'm looking forward to seeing those things happen. I'm looking forward to everything that He tells us to put our hands to, it coming to pass. Y'all know we have Kanye Fest coming up.
Yes.
Not this Sunday, next Sunday.
October 8th.
October 8th.
Kanye Fest.
I'm looking forward to that, because most of these children up here have never jumped in a bounce house.
They don't even know what a bounce house is.
Right. So I'm looking forward to bringing just a day of fun to the community.
Yes.
Doing something that they've never done, or never, some of them have seen it and done, but never thought they have the chance to do it, or for their children to do it. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to just a great time, and just a great continuation of what the Most High has for us here. I look forward to meeting more workers,
yes.
That the Most High sends for His purpose. So we don't need a lot. We just like to see the Most High do what He does.
Right. And for me, outside of what I look forward to with my marriage, on this journey that Stepping Stones to Home is on, is, as you guys have seen our new intro, we go to prepare a place for you, and I'm looking forward to you guys not having to go through the things that we have had to go through.
Oh yeah.
And the connections that we are making, guys, there's some things coming down the pipeline that's going to make it a lot easier for all of us over here, and so we are very thankful to be the ones that the Most High chose to play the part, to be the tool that He's using right now. And we're excited about it, because when the time comes, because I know a lot of you are waiting for the Most High to tell you to head on over. And we're just excited that when the time comes, it's going to be an easy transition for you.
Yes, because y'all, we don't want nobody to have to go through the hoops and hurdles and the tumbles and the tuck and rolls and all kind of stuff that we've had to go through.
Right.
Weaving bobs and all these things. So
yeah.
Don't
worry, Lulu. This is the first annual, so
yes,
this is gonna be the first annual one. There's gonna be another one, and there's gonna be plenty of other things that we're doing too. So,
and the next one we do, we want it to be even
bigger.
Yes. And better.
Yes.
And one of the things we're trying to do, this is first, but we are trying to get the people used to doing things like this, because when it comes down to our people being proud of who they are, I say in Tanzania, it's not a lot of celebrations as far as being African people. So this is just kind of like the tip of the iceberg, just kind of like putting in that first little step out there. And then we plan on doing these different days to celebrate us being African people You know, so they have the President Julius Nyerere Day, Africa Day, Africa Liberation Day,
Right.
even the what is it called? Independence Day for the
Yes.
country. But nobody really celebrates those days. Like they have something sometimes for Independence Day. You might hear something small for some of the other days, but it's not. So y'all know how like in the US they celebrate these things.
Yeah.
July
July 4th.
all these things. But here nobody really celebrates these things and use those opportunities to teach about our history.
Right.
So it's kind of like we want to give them a taste so they'll crave for more, and we can start incorporating those things into it so we can show more of African culture, because even though we in Africa, not all the African places are big on their traditions. So you know, we were coming in here thinking that we was gonna be dashiki-ing it up and all kind of stuff like that, and
they don't even wear dashikis.
No, so you know, we look forward to doing that. So Kanye Fest is just the first of prayerfully many
different things,
events that we can do, but all of it is to bring the community together and hopefully in the future start to implement things where we can teach more about our history. And you know, that takes all of us, not just us. It takes a lot of them, because we don't know a lot of our history on this side.
Right.
So yes. So that's what I look forward to.
Yeah. So family, listen, please do us a favor. Like, comment, and share this video. Do that for us for our anniversary. All right. No, because they were talking about that. And also, if you would like to support what we're doing over here on the continent, again, we have a nonprofit. It is tax deductible. If you'd like to do a donation, you can go to zionurbandevelopment.org. The website is coming across at the bottom right now. You can go there, go to our donations page, and you can do a donation. It is tax deductible. If you would like to do a Cash App instead, you can do one as $BUILDTZ in the for section. Put it for community projects. Also, if you want to be a blessing to us in our household, at the screen right now, you see $stepping stones to home, completely spelled out. And, you know, just put a little heart in there so we know it's a love gift, you know, and we just appreciate all that you guys do. But the most important thing that you guys can do for us is just keep us lifted up in prayer.
Yeah.
You know, that is the most important thing, because we pray for you guys diligently all the time. So that the prayers are the most important thing to us.
Yes.
And we love y'all. And, you know, we just want to thank you guys again for sharing this time with us. So tomorrow, y'all won't hear from us because we're going to be celebrating our anniversary, 20 years, and looking forward to 2,000 more.
How about eternity?
That works for me too.
All right, y'all.
All right, family. Love y'all. Shalom.